Welcome back to Fasi Fas, where we're making way for women to get into the political conversation and
make some noise. Now, we've been having a conversation about the negative attitudes towards female leadership, and that what tubuuza tiendowooza ne kugira abakyala okuyingira mu byobufuzi. So we're a country that has a lot of good ideas on paper. I mean, we have all these ideologies of things that we want to do, places we want to go, but they never really seem to be implemented on the ground. We're a country that's saying, you know, we need more female leaders at the forefront, we need more strong leaders, but when it comes to actual reality between sometimes even with other women, they are saying, but why are you going into leadership? But why are you, you should be humble and sit down and all those things. How do we move from where we are and all these perceptions and negative attitudes to where we want to go, where there is proper equal representation? I'll start with Patience, part of the think tank.
How do we move from that? Okay, definitely we need women supporting women. That is so important. Women mentoring women. So if women like Kadaga did mentor these women MP and told them, let's run for a term or two in which this term, in which along these terms, we're trying to pull up other women to come and fill in up these particular seats while we go for the main constituency seats.
Do you think there's anything else we can do besides mentorship and creating awareness in society for the women's needs?
I think we should also go back to the way that we are raising and educating our children. So while we have all these policies saying that women are equal and women will have the same opportunities, the laws and policies are dreamy and clear and perfect, but you still have schools that, every school I think, that still says father is the head of the family and they're giving children homework and that's the answer, UNEP wants, and mother cooks food. And these are things that we should challenge, and we should realize that these issues are deep. The perceptions against women and their ability as leaders, everybody has them because we are socialized to have them. Even the greatest feminists will sometimes sleep and sometimes will not be able to identify exclusion of women when we see it. And the question we should be asking ourselves as a country, as a community, is what are we losing when we exclude women? We have to stop handling exclusion of women with kid gloves. So we are here talking about Fasi Fas, make way, but and I like it because it's powerful. We have to push, we have to not beg, because I'm not begging you to give me a seat in parliament, to give women a seat in parliament, or to give me maternity leave. It's my right.
Patience is saying that women need to, it needs to be inclusive in our education today, that a woman is told who she is, what she can do, what she can bring to the table. If we are to change the views on perception, participation in society. Also, I mean, for your male counterparts who are introduced by their accolades and you're introduced based on your appearance.
Beautiful Becky.
Yet you have something to bring to the table. I mean, that is a perception issue, can be dealt with through education, it can be dealt with through sensitizing society. But what do you guys at home think? You can join the conversation on our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hashtag is Fasi Fas.
What perceptions have you heard about, and how do they discourage women from actually getting into leadership?
I'm a firstborn. So I'm my father's boy. So he says. But again, he says it as boy because we are 5 girls, and for a while, everybody kept hoping there was a boy coming. And he was very comfortable with the girls because it was about building a character within these children that you have. Because you can as well have a boy and he will turn out to be 0, but he's a boy. However, so it was about building the, and have a vision for everything that you do. Have a vision for the spaces you're in. Even as a woman, in the same spaces, the only way to build confidence in yourself is have a purpose and a vision within your space. And then you'll be very confident because you have done it, you have achieved. So delight in your achievement. That itself should boost your confidence. Speak about it, speak to people about it. Even the people that don't want to hear about it, tell them I have achieved at breastfeeding. I have also achieved at changing diapers. I have actually achieved because guess what? I have achieved. Tell them your achievements. They themselves will then get you space of, I've actually achieved. You'll get to believe you've achieved.
I think one perception that struck me watching the video is the perception that what we do at home is actually not leading. Because if you knew what it takes to run a home, to manage a child, to make sure that everything in your house is in order, and if we took what women do at home as leadership and extrapolate that into the public space, we'd have women running our economies, we'd have women running our schools because they're the first teachers, they're the first. I mean, there's so much leadership there. But just because we don't define it as such, therefore I grew up thinking I'm not a leader. On the flip side, I grew up a firstborn. I never heard in my circles anywhere that I wasn't a leader, but I assumed the leadership positionally. And I think if women are encouraged that wherever you are, so in the home with my siblings, I'm a leader. At school, with my fellow students, I'm a leader. In the workspace, when I come, then I'll be able to present myself as a leader, because all along my socialization path, I've been shown this is your place. So I think that's part of what we need to do, to encourage, one, that what we do at home is as much leadership as what you do in the public space. And that along the social path that women travel, they should be fronted again and again. You are a leader, you're capable, you can do it, why not?
I've always said that, you know, women, no one is going to open a door for you and say, please come in. It's never going to work like that. You're going to have to kick doors down, and that's how it's going to happen. I think we have put an expectation on the table that everyone wants to invite us in, and everyone has, you know, the good intentions at heart, and therefore it's going to happen. But of course, you know, keep sharing your thoughts with us on Twitter and on Facebook. That is, the hashtag is Fasi Fas, and keep those thoughts coming through. And here at Fasi Fas, we'd like to make some noise for the many successful female leaders. Now, today on the hot seat, we have Esther Kalenzi, the founder and leader of 40 Days Over 40 Smiles, a charity organization.
My name is Esther Kalenzi, and I am an accountable leader. Accountability is taking responsibility of your actions and doing exactly what you say you'll do. Accountability breeds trust, and if your juniors or people you're working with are looking up to you, it's important for them to trust you, and if you're not accountable, they're not going to be able to do that. Lack of accountability is a huge thing, because people trust their leaders. And if I've put my trust in you, elected you into power, believing that you're going to put up better roads, better schools, better hospitals, and in the end, children are still uneducated, people are dying from simple diseases, and the roads are not even accessible, then you've not held your end of the bargain, and I can no longer trust you. You walk into a room with people who are older than you, and you're expecting them to mentor you and give you valuable advice, but instead they're trying to put you down, telling you should be doing something different with your life, and undermining basically everything that you've worked so hard for. Everyone has their own personality and strong points, but I find that most women are empathetic, and they have the ability to put themselves in other people's shoes, which is a quality that every leader should have. Always, always be true to yourself. Fast, fast means making way, and basically, in my own interpretation, if you've been given an opportunity, it's your chance to give an opportunity to someone else.
We're coming to the end of today's edition of Fasi Fas, but before we do, let us do a quick wrap-up.
So, what can be done to overcome negative attitudes to female leadership?
Women, time to take action. Have belief in your confidence and ability to bring about positive changes nationwide. Mentor one another.
And challenge your perceptions. Now, next time you think about a strong leader, bring women to the forefront of your mind.
Journalists, do better. Biased media coverage does long-lasting damage to female leaders and political candidates.
And lastly, be more supportive. Now, men and women must work together to dispel negative attitudes. Have your female leaders back. End of this episode. Twagala okubebaza bwenna mwenna abadde batulaba. Thank you so much. Abadde naffe ku mikutu gya internet ku Facebook, Twitter ne Instagram. Mwebale nnyo ku ndowooza zammwe. And of course to our guests, thank you so much for being part of the show today.
Catch up with us next time on Fasi Fas as we continue to make way for women to get into the political conversation and
make some noise.